asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live. Right now, I'll post a new video. If you're new to this channel, asexual, Anna wrote a book called Asexual Perspectives. It's out on Amazon. Check it out. So yes, this is going to be a bit of a rant video. So I'm absolutely sick of dating. So yeah, I'm asexual in sexual orientation. I'm personally a sex repulsed asexual, and of course, this makes dating and finding someone for a relationship, suitable relationship, I should say, really damn hard. You know, if you're sex repulsed and you really hate sex and you don't like any types of sex and you don't like sexual touching, it really is very, very difficult. And so what really annoys me is when I put in my profile that I don't like any types of sex, I still get asked, so do you like blowjobs? Would you give me a blowjob? Like, how much stuff would you do with me? And it's like hitting your head against a frigging brick wall. Bang, bang, bang. It's like, how many times do I have to tell you I don't like sex? I don't like any types of sex. That means I don't like oral sex, I don't like anal sex, and I don't like sex. So what is it about I don't like sex that people just don't understand? I'm making it as blatant as I can. I don't know how much blatant I can make it, you know. I don't know where these people think I'm coming from. Do they think I'm just having a joke or a laugh or making bullshit up? What's the point? You know, what's the point of me setting my whole profile up just to put that if I don't mean it, you know? And so I'm having a really bad time with dating. I'm really sick of it at the moment. I really think I should just stop doing it for a while because I'm taking a break from Facebook dating as it is. But there's people off Facebook dating, you know, that I was talking to on Facebook dating, I connected with on Facebook. And there's also a Facebook group I'm in, which I was in since April, and just guys constantly like my Facebook post in there, and they're Indian. So I get Indian guys in my inbox every day, usually like between 3 and 6 a day, often most days. And so, you know, but they're all like in India usually. They all want marriage or a job or a visa, and or even one or two guys have asked me for money, and it's absolutely disgusting. I do not like guys who sponge off women. Foreign guys who sponge off women are disgusting. Anyone who sponges off women is disgusting. You know, it's just sick. I don't know why they keep thinking I've got piles of money. If I had got piles of money, which I don't have, I certainly wouldn't be giving it to them. You know what I mean? I have to look after myself in case people didn't notice that. And so, yeah, I'm just really sick of it, right? Because it's just a waste of time, energy and effort lately, you know? And so there's this guy from the Facebook dating there was a guy from Facebook dating, right, who connected with me on Facebook, and he was messaging me quite a bit the first time he connected with me, and then he didn't start messaging me till late last night, and then he wanted to actually meet me, but I still won't meet a guy unless I video chatted with him first. So he arranged a video chat tonight at 10 o'clock. And he was a couple of minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes late. And he's like, oh, I'm just finishing my work. And then he kept saying he couldn't hear what I was saying. And he went on the bus and said, I'll phone you back in 5 minutes, which he didn't. It's like 27 minutes later. And he couldn't really care less. You know, that's not someone who really is into someone and really likes someone. You know, like, my time is valuable and precious. And what I hate is when guys do not value my time. And it just is like I'm at their beck and call, and that they can message or video call me and I will just be there straight away, or they can keep me hanging on. It really annoys me. It's like you've got no respect for my time, no value for my worth. So in the end, I just have to delete, I have to say, I usually say bye and just block them and tell them that they're not suitable for me. I usually do that. I don't just usually just block them. I usually give them a reason for why I'm doing it, right? So they can learn if they actually want to learn anything in their life. So yeah, this guy tonight, like, he never phoned back 27 minutes later, and I'm like, well, you know, I've got work to do. I need to get on with doing stuff. Thanks for the thumbs up, lots of love. So I said, you know, that I said after 27 minutes, well, it would have been nice if you'd let me know, you know, that you were going to be longer than 5 minutes. And he's like, oh, I'm taking a slow shower now, and then I'm eating food. So in other words, the guy, excuse my language, don't give a shit about me. And it's like, why even waste my time? Why spend all like last night messaging me for like it must have been like at least an hour. What is the frigging point? So when I got back from the asexual meetup, this guy's messaging me, and he hadn't messaged me for ages. And I said, well, I didn't realise you were interested in me because you haven't spoke to me really for ages properly. And he's like, oh no, I am. And it's just like bullshit. Excuse my language, but it's bullshit. You know, and it's just so frustrating. It's like, why waste my time and his time? What is the frigging point? I don't understand it, but I'm getting quite a lot of guys, I've noticed, on the dating apps that don't have other women interested in them. And I think it's kind of like, oh, you'll do because you're the only woman that's interested or girl that's interested in me. And that just really sucks. It's like, I want to be someone's choice, first choice, not because, oh, they don't have anyone else that can be bothered with them. That actually says quite a lot about them, doesn't it? If I'm the only person who can be bothered with them. It's like says that not many people would think they're very good to be in a relationship with or connect with in the first place. But you know, I'm not a person who is materialistic and goes by like flashy cars or loads of money or anything like that. I try to get to know the person, the heart of the person. I do like Indian guides, and obviously there's quite a lot of, well, I have been told there's quite a lot of British women that are not so keen on foreigners, and not some of them are not so nice to Indian guys. So obviously when I'm a person who pops up, like one of the rare people that pops up and just like gets on with them really well, then they probably like think, oh, this is interesting. But it's not really because they're interested in me, just because they're interested in the attention for that time, to be quite frank with you, in my discovery. So I like this guy. All he had to do if he wasn't interested is tell me, look, I'm gonna call you back in 5 minutes. Instead of saying that, all he had to do is just say to me, look, I've decided that you're not for me. I've seen you on video. I just don't think it'd work, or I've had second thoughts, or you know, like I've decided you're not for me. Not like keep me waiting 27 minutes then can't be asked. I just think that's so rude, so disgusting. But always remember, it's a big reflection on them, not on you if they do that to you. It means that they don't respect people's time. They just don't care about other people. They don't have, you know, they've done me a favour. These guys who are shite, excuse my language, I'm going to be swearing a bit tonight. These people, you know, they've done me a favour because they've disqualified themselves from ever being in a relationship with me, which is good because it means eventually the right guy can come along. But at the moment, I'm so sick of dating. I don't really want to do it for a while. But I say this, but I don't like to say it too much because I know I'm a hyper romantic, and then 3 days later I can be back dating again. It's just so annoying. I know that's a very annoying thing about myself, but I love myself, so I have to deal with it. But you know, I can be like really hating it at the moment, thinking, oh, I'm feeling sick of it, and I just literally want to stop all the dating stuff because I've had it. I'll still stay on asexual dating sites because there's not really much activity on asexual dating sites anyway, to be honest. But you know, I just kind of like want to stop pursuing that for a while because it just makes me sick. But then all of a sudden I get such romance, and after a few days usually I start feeling different because, you know, like I get the guys who have been ridiculously bad towards me or idiots towards me or ignorant or rude or just selfish or uncaring or unthoughtful. I kind of get them out of my head and kind of like start again then, you know, something, oh, a few days has passed, I've just forgotten about them because, like, you know, I've learned to move on quite quickly and be detached, and this is the only good thing I would say a lot about dating and my experience is that I can detach quite quickly from guys now, and so I can have a long conversation with one, and then, like, you know, like it's not gonna, with a lot of the guys, it's not gonna bother me. It bothers me to this extent. I get sick of it because I think it's treating people badly, and I don't like being treated badly. I don't like these people treating people badly. But you know, in the sense of like attachment, I'm a lot less attached than I used to be, and I can detach, and I don't care if they reject me. I'd rather them reject me than them being stupid, wasting my time, because that's just frustrating and really bad mannered and really disgusting. It's like, you know, and what really annoys me is these people keep like putting in my head that they could live without sex, and quite frankly, I think it's bullshit. And I don't like it. It's just horrible. You know, it's like, why waste my time? Why waste my time? It's just like, if you need sex, move the friggin' hell on. There's 55 billion or whatever people. I don't know how many people listen. Well, I don't keep track of that. There's billions of people in the world. And so basically, you know, like, go and get one of them that wants sex. There's plenty of people out there that love sex. Go and have one of them. I'm not interested in that. You know, I'm really not. I've decided that the 5 things I need in a relationship are an emotional connection, intelligence connection, you know, and conversation. So emotional connection, intelligent conversation. I need a real true soulmate connection. I need high levels of communication. And I also need a lot of kissing. Those are kind of my 5 keys to a successful relationship from my point of view, you know, kissing without the sex. And so I really need that. And if a guy can't talk intelligently to me, quite frankly, I'll start getting bored during the video date. And I'm like, I really don't think I could spend the rest of my life with this guy. And I like looking for a long-term relationship because I personally think it's a waste of time having a short-term relationship or temporary. That's the way I feel. Because, you know, if you apply time, energy, and effort into them for just like a short period, it's like I could have been doing something else. I could have been like working on my current book or another book. I could be doing something to help change the world where asexuality is concerned. I can be leaving a lasting legacy. Do you know what I mean? So it's much more important, you know, than a short-term relationship. And I don't really need a guy. The only thing I want is a kissing, really, which is just annoying because I'm so romantic in kissing. So it's romance and kissing, and there's only so much I can kiss myself. But maybe I just have to find a robot or something. But not a bad idea, huh? But you know, I just really annoys me, you know, it really annoys me that these people are just so like, you know, wasting my time. So there was also a guy earlier today, I've actually video chatted with one guy today that I wasn't expecting to, who I found on Bumble. And so Bumble I put on a break for a week because due to work because I'm absolutely sick of Bumble already. I mean, I think the app's good if you really want to get like pedantic over like finding someone for a date, but I just think I think the user interface is very good. I think you found a lot more out about the person than Facebook dating. I think that, you know, I think the photographs are better quality. You can see where they're going to want marriage or children, a lot of them, although some of them lie or don't know, which is not great. But you know, and so you can find out a lot more than Facebook dating, and so I think it's better in that way. It's very for women's rights and women make the first move, but I do like all that sort of stuff. But it's just so time consuming, and so I wanted to take a break. But if you take a break indefinitely, apparently it just deletes your conversations. But to be honest, I've only got one conversation on there at the moment, and that's from a new guy, new to me, because when I had the asexual meetup yesterday, I basically decided to show someone how to use the Bumble app, and I showed the other people as well. It's like 4 of us in total, so me and 3 others. And as I was doing it, I only flicked through like 3 people just to show them how it works. And then this guy popped up, and his profile and bio seemed to be fitting the description of my personality and soul and what type of thing I'm looking for. So I was so excited, and I thought that he seemed really good looking overall, and I really loved what he said in his profile. I thought we might be really well suited, but I didn't know. It said he doesn't know if he needs kids or not, so that's a big question mark. And also, you know, I didn't know if soul connection, he just wants to connect with loads of women in their soul, and I'm not really interested in that. I'm on the dating app specifically to find a soulmate, romantic soulmate. I have best friends, 3 best friends, so close friend, and so, you know, I'm looking to find a romantic life partner soulmate. Not a guy who goes around friending loads of women or liking loads of women or connecting with loads of women to kind of get into all of their souls and just like, you know what I mean? It's a bit, I just want a special connection. Ultimately, I think you can have more than one soulmate, but you know, anyway, you know, it went really well overall. I really liked talking to him. He's really cute, and we had a video call that was unexpected, and I don't usually do that, so it was really nice, and it did go really well. But then, but I think from what I gather from the like video chat, that he would probably want more intimacy physically than I would want, and also he's not sure about marriage, and also I thought he would connect with me on Facebook, but he hasn't even got a full he's got a full Facebook profile, but he's only using Messenger, and I don't tend to trust guys who just use Messenger and not the whole Facebook, especially if they've already got a Facebook profile. That's just the way I feel. Any guys who tell me lock their profile and don't friend me on Facebook, it just seems dodgy to me. That's from my experience. I'm not saying he is a dodgy guy. He might be very genuine. But I personally find I can't trust someone like that. All my experience before is not very good with that type of thing. But anyway, he seemed a nice person when I talked to him. But I think I'm not sure if I would be suitable for him. I think he might need another girl who's more heterosexual than I am. But anyway, so that was unexpected. That was nice. And then earlier before that, there was a guy who was supposed to have a date with me. Indian guy in the UK, and he just like blocked me on Messenger, but didn't block me on Facebook. And it's like he was talking to me like quite a lot before, like for a couple of days, and then like it's like at least have the decency to just say, "Oh, we're not going to be compatible or suitable after all. Bye." You know what I mean? It's just like, and even on Facebook dating, there was a guy in my city, Indian guy. I mentioned this before, and he just decided we can't be in a relationship because we will need sex in the end, but could be my friend. And then he didn't even continue that on. And I had to say to him, "I'm guessing you've changed your mind." It's like, why waste my time? Why not just say, "Look, I've had a think, decided we're not right for each other, so I'm going to move on. We'll wish you the best of luck." This is common courtesy, politeness, decency. You know, it seems it's very lacking in the dating and relationship world these days. Common decency, you know, respecting someone's time, respecting someone's care, respecting someone's feelings. It just all seems to have gone out the window. And it just makes it, you know, it makes me sick that I just wasting my time. And so I really hope that I can kind of spend my time more wisely, and I can somehow, you know, like put that energy into other pursuits and stuff. Because right now I'm feeling really sick of it. I'm taking a break from Facebook dating at the moment. I just haven't gone back on there apart from to delete people who I was originally talking to, quite a few of them. And, you know, I just really want to take a break from Bumble again. I might have to use a take a break indefinitely, but I'm still talking to the one guy on there at the moment. And so I think I need to give him the rest of a fair chance to, yeah. So, you know, but I just don't really want to do it anymore at the moment. It just really feels like it's so time consuming. I could be doing other things with my life. Maybe it's holding me back, and maybe I just have to like give up the idea of finding my Indian soulmate right now at this minute for the foreseeable future. I don't think I could ever give up him entirely. I will always kind of think about this person always, and maybe they'll come into my life later on, I don't know. But it makes me sad if I think about saying goodbye to him, so I don't really want to say goodbye. Maybe I just think, you know, like, don't focus on that for now. You know, but if I might end up with a complete mindset switch, which means like I'm really not interested in dating or relationship at all forever, and therefore I'm not going to ever be with an Indian guy because it was obviously a past life and I choose not to be it in this life, you know. But Indian culture is so different to me. Like, I don't want marriage, I don't want sex, I don't want kids, I don't want to live together, I don't want the traditional relationship, you know. Like, a lot of Indian guys, they want to live with their parents and their brothers and their sisters, and it's like as one big family till they die. And it's like, I left home when I was 19 years old in birth certificate age. I don't want to be having like parents around in a living in situation. I love my parents to bits, don't get me wrong. I don't mind staying over their place, it's nice to see them. But me and my parents are kind of like, we need our own space, you know. And you know, personally, I wouldn't want to be in a house with anyone's parents like that. I find it so restrictive and so like kind of claustrophobic, and you know, it just really wouldn't suit me. So I'm very different to Indian culture. So unless I find like the one rare Indian guy where he really is different to his culture and he just, you know, he just really doesn't fit in with his culture and he really wants a different relationship and he specifically likes me and my quirks, then I don't think it'd work. But yeah, it's just really disappointing, you know. I hate it when guys lie about them being asexual, or they imply they're asexual when they're not. I hate it when they say basically they don't need sex when they do. You know, and it's just frustrating that a lot of the guys say like, "Oh, well, I don't want marriage now." And it's like, I've put in my profile, I don't ever want marriage. It's like, what part of that do you not understand? I don't want marriage, I don't want kids, I don't want sex, I don't want to live together, but I want a long-term committed relationship. Like, it's clear to me that I want a relationship without sex, marriage, or kids all living together. It's crystal clear to me. And I can't make it much more crystal clear in my profile than what I have. I've even put in Bumble, like, I want to live separately in a relationship to just make it crystal clear, you know? But it's like these guys haven't really thought about the long term. They're kind of just thinking of the now. They're not thinking about, oh, a few years down the line, they want to get married and stuff like that. Some of them, they're just thinking of the short term, which is absolutely no good to me. And I do like younger guys. I'll always prefer younger guys. I'm not interested in guys anywhere near my birth certificate age. I don't have anything in common with them. I don't relate to them. And, I just can't be with an older guy. It's just not who I am. A lot of the time I feel I'm younger than a lot of the guys I even speak to. I feel like I'm just like much younger than most people, and I don't want to leave my young life. I love it so much. Another thing that's really annoying is, it's like if someone hasn't got an app and they really like you, then you know what I mean. I'm sure they'll download it for you if they really like it. I mean, I don't use WhatsApp and I don't use Instagram. I really hate them. Well, I just don't. Well, maybe one day I'll be on Instagram, but I don't like WhatsApp. I just don't like it because I get every sexual guy always asking me, what's your WhatsApp? What's your WhatsApp? And it really puts me off. I've only ever been on there once for an old job, and that was a traumatic job, and I don't want to ever be reminded of that again. So, yeah, and Instagram I've just never been on. So, I might have accidentally created a profile not a long time ago, a few months ago, by clicking through Facebook to Instagram or something, but I don't actually have a proper I don't have any profile. I think it might just have come up with a name or something, and I don't even have a page or anything like that. But I don't use Instagram, and I class myself as not having it. I haven't got it, but it's just I think I might have accidentally gone through there once. But yeah, so a guy wanted me to connect with him on Instagram, and I wanted to see his profile, and then it was Instagram from Facebook to Instagram, and then it like said, do you want to have a profile or something? Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not on it. But I haven't been on there, so I don't know. But if I did have a profile in the future, it wouldn't be using my Facebook profile anyway. That's my personal name. Would be using. I'd have to create a separate page for my Asexualise page. But someone's taken my Asexualise name on Instagram already, so I can't have that anyway. I have an idea that might be an ex of mine, but I'm not sure. But yeah, as someone I dated, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm going off on a tangent now. But I think in terms of a guy, I know a guy usually will do anything to be with a girl if he really likes her. And if if a guy can't even download Messenger for, Facebook itself for a woman, just reinstall the app if he's got a Facebook profile. A lot of them lie. You see, I found a lot of guys say, I don't have Facebook, and then they've got a full Facebook profile, and they're like, oh, but I don't use it. But all of a sudden, they start using it again. You know what I mean? It's just like, some guys, they just lie and they say, I haven't got any Facebook profile. And then you find out a lot down the line when you say, no, I won't, I only use Facebook. Because I do, apart from, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube here, and I'm on Facebook. Thanks for the thumbs up, right? And I don't want to have multiple apps because I use Facebook for business and pleasure, if you like. I use it for personal reasons. Our business, I manage 6 Facebook groups. I got 3 pages. Hi friends, I'm Abdul from Morocco. How are you doing today? Oh, lots of love to you. It's nice to see you from Morocco. Lovely, interesting name. And so yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about so I said that I do everything on Facebook. I run 6 asexual groups on Facebook, 3 Facebook pages for asexuals and other pages. And nice to meet you. Oh, thanks for the heart. Sad mood. Oh, is that how you pronounce your name? Yeah. So yeah, I think that if a guy really likes a woman, he'll just download the app and won't even think twice about it. I know guys who have moved countries to be for someone they really love, and just do whatever it takes. So, if a guy can't even install Facebook app of his own accord and friend request me when he's meant to be really keen on me, to me, it's just like, clearly you're not that keen on me, especially if they've actually got a Facebook profile filled out. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not like you haven't got Facebook. It's not like you haven't put any time, energy and effort into that. Do you know what I mean? I just like, yeah, anyway, that's my feeling, and, I meet a lot of guys that say they don't have Facebook at all, they don't use it, and then you find out throughout the conversation they have really got a Facebook account, you know. But I like to check someone out on Facebook so you can see a history of them, you can see how genuine they are, you can see what they've liked and their pages they've liked and their friends and stuff like that. And this information is very, very important, because if you are an asexual person, for example, who's sex repulsed like me, I'm new friend to your channel. Oh, lots of love to you, nice to see you. It's always good to have more channel friends and have a greater, beautiful community here. Thank you so much for being part of it. I appreciate you. So it's really nice. Thank you. So yeah, in regards to like being on Facebook, like everything I do usually on Facebook when I'm not on YouTube or occasionally Twitter. So yeah, but you know, being asexual, sex repulsed, it's a lot harder to find someone for a relationship, because like the majority of people do need sex in a relationship, you know, and obviously I don't, and I'm not interested. And you know, people keep asking me the question, so what made you be asexual? It's like nothing made me be asexual, right? No one came along and go, oh, you've got to be asexual. And it's not a lifestyle choice. It's not something I chose to be. It's not something I just decided, oh, right, today I'll be asexual. It doesn't work like that. Asexuality is a genuine sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction, right? Someone said on this channel in comments, oh, you're abstaining. It's like, I'm not abstaining. If I wanted to have sex, I would, but I don't want it. And I'm not abstaining because there's nothing to abstain from, because I'm not interested in sex. Right, I don't get the urge for sex, I don't get the need for sex, and I don't get the want for it. I really, really don't like any of that stuff. I just don't feel that way. So I'm not abstaining from something because I don't feel that way in the first place. I'm not stopping myself from doing that and in a restraining, restrictive way. I truly don't want sex, right? I'm a very energetic girl and I can kiss for, excuse me, I'm trying to put my legs out in front of me. I'm an energetic girl and I can kiss for a long, long time. I can kiss up to 3 hours and never get bored, which is very unusual. And because I'm a hyper kisser, right? I have a lot of energy doing that. And obviously when I'm talking, you know, and if I did like sex, which I don't, if I did, you know, like I'd probably be like too energetic for the guy and just he'd probably be a bit sore down there. But you know, I'm not interested in that. I'm really not interested in it. And so guys find it so hard to believe. And they're like, you know, like if I like I have had sex in the past in 2011, right? So we're in 2022 now. So that's how long it's been. And I'm really not interested in that ever again. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't have to have it. I'm not wanting it. You know, I can't even force myself to do it because it's just like not in me anymore. And you should never force yourself to do something you don't want anyway. And so, you know, like people don't believe that I don't want that. I really do not want it, you know? And I don't know how much more clearer I can make it. You know, if I did want it, I would go for it. I'm not, you know, I know how to do all that stuff because I did it before in the past because I thought I had to as part of a normal relationship, you know? And so I could do that in theory in terms of know what to do, but I can't do it because all my being and soul now is like, you just can't do that. It's just like repulsion, instant like repulsion, trying to push myself to do that, you know? And I just don't have that mindset of wanting to do it, that attitude of wanting to do it, or even willing to do it, or it's okay to do anymore. It just don't have that in me anymore. I just am not interested in that, you know? I just love the kissing. And why is kissing so great for me? Because if you actually look and do your research about kissing releases oxytocin, serotonin, I think it is, and dopamine. So it releases, or serotonin it is, yeah, serotonin. So it releases happiness chemicals anyway. So basically, you know, I clearly get all those chemicals on release of kissing, but I'm clearly not that way inclined for the sex aspect. And so, you know, kissing to me is bliss. It's very euphoric. It's very exciting. It's a really good feeling in my body. It feels so good in my mouth. It just feels really, really good to me. But when it comes to sex, I just don't feel that way. You know, I don't ever look at someone and think I want sex with them. I'm only attracted to guys, but I just don't feel that way. You know, but when you're on the dating scene and you get constant messages going, oh, So why did you choose to be that way? I like have to say I didn't choose. And they're, oh, but I respect your choice. It's like you obviously don't respect what I'm saying because I've just told you it's not a choice, yet you're saying you respect my choice. So you're basically just ignoring what I say and basically not accepting the fact it's not a choice by telling me I respect your choice. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just really bad. You know, I have to say they're just people in the world that just don't want, need, or like sex. And as difficult as that is to understand, there are genuine people like that. I'm one of them. Looking back in my life to throughout the years, I just know I was like that. At 6 years old, all I wanted to do was kiss. Yes, I was passionately kissing a guy at 6 years old. And he wanted to do other things, physical stuff and looking and stuff. And I didn't like that. I felt invaded. It was horrible. And I clearly wasn't interested in that. And then even in my teen years, you know, all I wanted to do is kiss and hold hands. Right. When I used to like think of a guy that I was in my school, for example, that I was really attracted to and would like to be in a relationship with, I would have liked him to be my boyfriend. All I thought about was kissing and holding his hand. That was it. I didn't think about sleeping with him, even in bed. I didn't think about sex or anything like that. All I thought about was, I just want to kiss him and I just want to hold his hand and walk with him and talk. And it would be really, really nice, you know? And there's, you know, like, there's got to be some asexuals on these dating apps somewhere. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be some, because I know some of the people in my group are on dating apps. So there's got to be some asexual guys on there, but I'm just finding people who lie about being asexual, or people who imply they might be asexual, but just make it up so that I'll get intrigued as to maybe they're right for me because maybe they're asexual. Because of stuff they say, like, oh, I haven't had sex for like 5 years, or I had sex but I didn't like it, or oh, I haven't really thought about it, or, you know, like, oh, I haven't like done that, I'm still a virgin, you know. But a lot of the time they haven't done it because of their religion, because they've never got the opportunity to do it, because they just maybe they don't feel attractive enough, because I've had some guys saying I'm ugly or I'm not good looking, so they got low self-esteem. There's like multiple reasons why people don't have sex, and besides being a sex repulsed asexual, or you can even get sex repulsed heterosexuals, right? But they still experience sexual attraction. So, you know, you've got to be really careful on these dating apps, because a lot of the time they just lie. And then I would love to say it's wonderful, but there are some good things about dating still, you know, like you get to meet different types of people, you get to talk to different people and get to learn more about different cultures, more about things they like, they dislike. You get to chat. If you're romantic like me, it can satisfy a romantic need, because you're kind of getting some romance usually from some messages. I get like hearts and stuff, and I get like guys saying they want to kiss me. I get that regularly. But a lot of them just want to meet for a kissing hookup. That's literally all they want to do with me. So instead of being a sex hookup like it would be if it was a heterosexual dating another heterosexual, they just want to hook up with me for kissing because they know I like kissing. Well, yeah, it's great I like kissing, and great a guy wants to kiss me, but I'm not just looking for a kissing hookup. Like, if I want to get that, I'll go. Well, I don't want to have kissing hookups, end of story. But if I want to actually have kissing with no commitment, I can go to a local nightclub and do that. I can have all the beautiful dancing. Then if a guy likes me, I like him, we can kiss, and that's it. I go home in a taxi by myself, no attachment there, no emotional connection, no, you know, like, which is better than having an online time where they're just emotionally connecting with me, but really all they want to do is a kissing hookup, and I never see them again, or all they want to do is keep coming back for more kissing hookups. You know, funny, but I don't want to stay in a situation where I'm having a friends with benefits, which I've got asked. I've been asked that even on Bumble. Oh, okay, so I spoke to them. You know, through speaking to them, I can tell that they're going to want kids in the future, or they're going to want marriage in the future. I'm like, well, clearly what you want in the future is not matching what I want, and I want something long term. And, you know, and then in the end they're like, oh, well, maybe we can meet up as friends and just kiss. It's like, I don't kiss my friends, you know. Oh, it's called friends with benefits. Like, one guy even said that to me. I'm like, I'm not interested in friends with benefits, you know. Like I said, why do I need to go through all the situation of a guy on a dating app, video dating him, trying to arrange to see him when he don't even live near me, when I can just go to a nightclub in my city with guys I like. I can see a hookup can be a bit much, a bit too much. It's just like, I don't like it. Yeah, it's very like not good. But I can go to nightclub and I can just kiss. Guys usually, I mean, I don't go there specifically to kiss because I love dancing. First and foremost is why I go there. Like last time I didn't kiss anyone, I just went for the dancing. It felt so euphoric. But I'm around guys, the age group I like for a relationship, which is guys in their early to mid 20s, And yeah, some people they say to me, "Oh, well, you like really younger guys, but they're not mature at that age." Well, I disagree. I think that as a blanket statement, I think some guys in that age group aren't mature, but I've met guys in their 30s that equally aren't mature at all, and even older guys that don't even know what the friggin' hell they want. I don't like older guys anyway, personally for me. And I live a young lifestyle. As you can see, I've got loads of cuddly toys and young stuff all around my room. In case you didn't notice, I'm really, really young on purpose. I like living like a teenager. I reprogrammed my mind years ago using neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. So I've got the mindset of like a 21-year-old. I believe I can do anything a 21-year-old can do if I want to. And like a lot of the time, I just don't relate to guys my own birth certificate age. I'm not interested in it. Some people like start asking me, I'm like, well, unless you're serious about a relationship with me, there's no point in me telling you anyway, because for friendship I don't even need you to know my birth certificate age, and I'm not even interested in it. I couldn't care less about it. It's not who I am. I don't believe I'm that age a lot of the time, even though legally I am. It's just like I just not interested in it. I don't live that way. My soul's not that way. My lifestyle's not that way. I don't think that way. I'm just totally young. And, even the video call I did have today with the guy, I felt like I was much younger than him. And in birth certificate age, I am older than him. But it's just like I have so much fun on my own, and sometimes I do video dates, and I'm just thinking there's no intellectual conversation here. I'm just getting bored already. There's no way I could spend the rest of my life with this guy who is just like not even intelligently stimulating me. I like really in-depth conversations and intelligent. When I say intelligent, that's subjective. What I find intelligence may not be intelligent to someone else. Like I like talking about coding, websites, business, entrepreneurship, personal and professional development, self-development, self-help, mindset, psychology, all this type of thing. This is what I call intelligent conversation. I don't feel personally that coming home just talking about a television program, I don't even watch TV, so I can't relate to that. And, like not having much to say, really, like, oh, I went to my job and that was it. And, I just don't feel that's very intellectually stimulating. I don't really feel they're having a proper back and forth conversation. It's kind of like, well, like talk to me, and so yeah, I just find the whole dating thing at the moment really sickening. The fact that guys waste my time a lot of the time, that they're not honest, that they're just, I don't know. I think it's just the attention they like. Maybe because I'm coming across quite a few guys who don't have that much attention, it would seem, in terms of romance, then I think they're lacking in that. And when they see me and they do enjoy the actual conversation at the time, but they're not really serious. They're not really interested in something long term. They're just kind of using me at that moment to get some gratification. That's what it feels like. I'm not them, so I can't speak for them. I don't know what goes through their head a lot of the time, but it's just not on really to waste someone's time and for them to put all the time, energy and effort in, and for you not to be honest. I don't like, if someone's being nasty and malicious, yes, I might just block them, but usually I always say, hope things get better for you with dating. Oh, thank you, Shy Cat. Lots of love to you. Yeah, I just like get so sick of it at the moment. I think I'm going to take a break. I don't know how long for, because at the moment I'm still talking to one guy on Bumble, so I don't want to cut off from him, but I have told him that I might be taking a break from it. I'm glad I never had that experience, even though I'm in my mid-20s. Miniaturist. Oh, it's a nice name, that. Yeah, I just like, it's really difficult for me because I'm a hyper romantic. This is the problem. And if I don't satisfy my romantic need, if I don't pursue dating relationships, then after a few days even, I can start to feel like something's wrong, something's missing, because I like the romance, and I can be romantic with myself. I really am. I self-date a lot, as you've probably seen on this channel. I go to cinema, I go eat in Nando's, so I'm very romantic with myself, but I still have this romantic urge and desire to have romance with an actual guy, Indian in my case, I like the most. And so I have this need. And when I'm sick of dating like now, it's like I really couldn't care less. I'm not interested for now. But then a few days later, that might change. And that's why I don't like doing this too many of these videos, because it'll be like, oh, a few days later she's dating again, even when she's sick of it. But this is how it truly feels to me. Right now I feel like I'm just so sick of it. I just want a break. I can be doing more productive things. I'm fed up of guys wasting my time, of lying, of deceiving, of not telling the truth, of making me think they might possibly be without sex when really they can't do that. Not thinking long term, because they just haven't really thought about that. I'm thinking, why you weren't even on a dating app? And you haven't even thought long term about what you want. But I guess years ago I didn't really think that far ahead, if I'm fair. Years ago I wasn't even thinking about long term relationships in that way. But then I wasn't dating years ago on dating sites. But when I was in relationships, I did want marriage years ago. So I'm very different now. I did want the marriage. I did want the traditional conditioned thinking of, oh, I want to live with, not kids though, I haven't wanted kids since 15 years old, but I always have the, like what you're conditioned to believe is the right thing to do is to, hi everyone, come here, you're welcome. So, basically with societal conditioning, they teach us that, basically you get a job, 9 to 5 job usually. You find someone for a relationship, you move in with them, you have sex with them, get married and then have sex. And then you have children, basically. The amount of people that get married and have kids are like 2 months later, or even less than that, or on their wedding night, they're getting pregnant, basically. It's just unreal. I'm thinking, you just got married just to have children. Why? It's just like, I think it's kind of crazy. And so I had that life years ago. I was much older in my mindset and my soul and way I lived my life years ago. I was much older. Now I'm younger. I love my life now, much better now. But back then I went along with a traditional conditioned thing because I didn't even know any different. And so I was kind of like, I moved out of home when I was 19, which isn't totally traditional. It's quite young. But I moved out of house when I was, my parents' house was 19, moved in with my boyfriend at the time. It was a horrible place. Very, very bad people were in the house. I went from being basically an only child in a very sheltered type of lifestyle, and then I went to a place where it was horrible. I mean, I don't even know if I should tell you the stuff that was in that house. But it's horrendous. I don't really talk about it much. But basically, I got told there's paedophiles living upstairs, this man and this woman. I had to go in the kitchen and cook food around. The guy who lived downstairs, he went to prison with the landlord. And there was people coming to beat the door down with drugs. And it was just awful. It's the worst place I could have gone to live at. I actually was in a very difficult situation, and I had to talk my way out of it at 19 with people who wanted to burn the house down. I don't talk about this publicly. It's very upsetting, really. But I was the one who talked them out of it. Even at 19, 3 blokes, one of which was perving all over me and being sexual on my shoulder type thing. Is disgusting. And my boyfriend at the time just stood there and did sweet F.A. And I had to tell them that if they do what they were about to do, the police would see them and they'd be done for it, basically. And the guy that they were trying to get drug money off there, that they threatened to burn the whole place down. These guys got inside and threatened to burn the place down with me and my boyfriend at the time in it. I don't have a boyfriend anymore. And so it was awful. I don't know if I've ever told anyone this before on my channel. It was really dreadful. And at 19, I managed to talk my way out of it and say, you'll draw attention to yourself. The guy isn't even in there anyway. And, and they eventually left, but it was awful. There was smacking the door trying to get into his place and saying they were going to burn the whole place down. It was so frightening at 19, as you can imagine. But luckily, I'm very intelligent and very able to talk coherently, even in a really terrible time like that. It scares me that they think that's normal. Yeah, I know. It's really bad. So that was the first place I ever lived at. So, but if we skip, that wasn't a good relationship, even though I moved with that guy eventually. But if we skip to my last long-term relationship, even, it was all very much like living, well, I guess both relationships, all like living the type of like, well, that first guy who I moved in with at 19, I actually did get engaged to him when we moved to another place, but he wasn't nice to me. So eventually years later I split up with him. But yeah, that was a really difficult time. But at that time I wanted to get married, and it was kind of like you do a job, you come home, you eat together, watch TV, go to bed, and that's pretty much the life I had back then. And then with the last long-term ex, it was very much like that. The only difference, I guess, was we went out a lot more, which I did like. We used to go to theme parks, zoos, aquariums, cinema together. I did like the fact that he kissed me in public all the time. We would be kissing in the high street. I'm saying the good things. There's not much good things about this last relationship. One is that he was good at sex, even though I'm not into sex and sex repulse these days. But he was good at that, and he wasn't sexually abusive, but he was abusive in every other way. I'm grateful he wasn't. He was really good. He was really opposite, kind and caring like that. And I think that's why I liked the time with him. So that was my last long-term ex. And the other thing I liked was the fact we would kiss when we were going to theme parks, zoos, aquariums, kiss in the high street, kiss on the train. I just love that type of teenager relationship. Not being with a teenager, but teenager relationship, we weren't teenagers. But I like that type of relationship where you just don't care what people think. You're kissing, and you just because a lot of people, as they get older, they worry so much about what people think. Oh, I can't kiss in front of someone. What will that old bloke think? What will that woman think? I'm not like that at all, right? I believe in living for the moment in that way, and that life is too frigging short, and that people can look the opposite direction if they don't like it. If I see a couple kissing, I think good for them. They've got a partner. Some people search their whole life for someone and never get a partner. And if they found a person they love and they want to kiss them in the moment, I'm glad for them. I'm not like, and I can look away if I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad for people. Anyone who finds a suitable partner for a relationship, even though I don't have someone, I'm always grateful for them to have each other in their lives. I don't, some people get really upset if they see other couples that they haven't got a relationship. And I kind of get that, because I can see couples sometimes, but instead of making me sad, I kind of think, oh, I want that, because these people look like they've got a good relationship. They seem really happy and in love, and they're holding hands. So I'd love to have that. So I don't want that to be taken away from them. I don't feel like it's bad that they've got that and I haven't. I just think I would want that myself, because they seem happy. But there's a lot of relationships that aren't happy. Divorce rates are really high. But years ago I used to want to get married, and I used to want to live that type of life, but now I'm the complete opposite. Now I live like a teenager, as I mentioned earlier, with all my cuddly toys and stuff. Now I live purposely like I've got a 21-year-old mindset. Now I feel young in my soul. I feel a lot more safe I've lived here for a long time on my own. I support myself financially. I take care of myself all the time. I'm used to coming in whenever I want, and I find with the dating, I'm like, I really need someone who's going to be unconventional like me, non-conformist like me, if I get into a relationship, and who's different. I like Indian guys, which are very traditional cultured. I'm just not that way inclined. I don't get why people say a person is bad in bed or horrible at kissing or whatever. Yeah, it's not good. And you can, I because I love kissing, I can train. I'm going to be a bit blunt here. I can train a guy to kiss me the way I want to be kissed, and I'm good at kissing. So some guys actually do say that to me. I have had actually quite a few guys recently on the dating app saying, I'm well, what? Oh, it's a bit disgusting. So if you're sex repulsed, you might want to just get a sick bucket. But they said, I hope to find true relationship. Why not? Oh, bless you. So the guys like recently on the apps, like I've been talking to, I've told them I'm sex repulsed. I don't like any types of sex. So they then start talking to me about oral sex and sucking. And they go, oh, I'm good at sucking, but not kissing. I'm like thinking, how can you be good at sucking and giving oral sex if you don't kiss? Because surely the kissing comes first usually. You don't just go, oh, hello there. Like, hi, I'm just going to put my head between your legs right now without even bothering to kiss you or do much touching. I'm just going to stick my head there. It's not how it works in life. So I don't understand these guys that say I'm really good at sucking and won't you let me suck you? And I'm like, no, I don't like that. I'm really sex repulsed, and I'm not interested in oral sex. I'm really not interested in that. But, you know, I don't understand why they say, oh, I'm good at sucking, and then I'm not good at kissing. It's like, how can you be good at sucking and not kissing? Because surely you kiss the person first. Don't just shove your head down there. I don't get it. I really don't get that. I feel like, is there something that's been missed out of my education or something, where people now just go and put their head down there or something? I'm like, what's going on in the world? But, you know, like, there's quite, you know, the guys that say, oh, I'm not good at kissing, I don't know if that's true, because usually I haven't kissed them. And I'm like, well, but some of them say, oh, you can teach me, because I say I'm good at kissing. And that's fine. I said, I'm like, no problem with that. Other times I just say, oh, I can teach you, you know, because some of the guys I like, obviously, in their early to mid 20s, they might not have had much kissing experience. But I dated a heterosexual guy quite a few years ago now. I think it's 5 years ago. And he was older than me in birth certificate age. He was like 42. And he looked younger. He looked like he was in his 30s. But anyway, yeah, so this was 2017, I think. And anyway, he didn't know how to kiss, but he knew how to have sex. He goes, oh, I'm not good at kissing. I don't really kiss. I just have sex. And I'm thinking, how can you have sex without kissing? I mean, usually kissing is a prequel to sex, which is really difficult for asexuals, especially like me, who loves kissing without sex, because I just want the kissing and not the sex. And usually they think kissing is going to lead on to sex. But I don't understand how these people are not having any kissing experience, but are having all this sex, all sex experience. It's like, yeah, exactly. Miniaturist. I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. Yeah, it's like, what's going on with that? I don't understand it at all. I really don't get it. So it's bizarre. I'm like, well, I have loads of kissing experience, more than the sex, thank God. Well, I have quite a lot of experience from my past with the sex. I have to say I've done quite a lot of stuff, but, you know, I consider myself more experienced in the kissing department, because from the last, you know, I haven't had sex since 2011, thank God. I'm happy about it, really happy. But, you know, so all I've had since then is, I haven't had enough kissing because I haven't been in relationships and haven't kissed enough. But you know, like, that's my forte. That's what I'm good at. That's what I like to do, you know. But these people are so weird that come on. I don't understand why, when I say don't like any types of sex, they're still asking me, so do you do a blowjob? Like, Sandra, nice talking. I thank you for advice. Oh, lots of love. Nice to see you. Welcome. You know, so it's really, you know, like, I have to keep going over in private message with them, like, you know, what I actually mean in my profile, which is really, you know, I'm very, like, certain in my profile, very strict, very like, I do not like any types of sex. I'm asexual in sexual orientation. I don't experience sexual attraction. I don't know how much more clearer I can make it. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I just like, it just feels very frustrating. It feels like these people don't listen. They don't take me seriously. They think I'm joking. They think I'm making it up. They think asexuality is a choice. They sometimes think it's a lifestyle. You know, sometimes they make it sound like it's a coat you can try on, because occasionally I get a guy going, I'd like to try being asexual. It's like, it's not a coat that you can just put on and think, do I look nice in this asexual coat today? It's like it's a sexual orientation, you know, and a lot of them, they go, oh, has something happened to you? You know, and that means, like, they try to get to the point of, oh, have you been sexually abused, and that's why you don't want sex and calling yourself asexual? Yes, I've had sexual abuse, but I've had sex, good sex, after that, even though I'm not interested in it anymore, right? So it's not the sexual abuse that made me not want sex and sexually repulsed. I'm just like, since I found the asexual community in 2014, I know I don't have to have it anymore. And 2013, I really started to realize I was different, because I was in a relationship with this Bangladesh guy, very brief, because he cheated on me after 3 weeks because I wouldn't have sex with him. And, you know, and I just noticed that he was really hot looking, really aesthetically gorgeous. And I really wanted to, like, love kissing him. And I really was attracted to him. I just couldn't bring myself to have sex with him, because that's what he wanted. And I was forcing myself to do stuff I really didn't want to do. And I just thought, you just can't do this anymore. It's just too anxiety inducing. It's too not you. Your mind now is just like, no, I can't do sex anymore. It's just really not who I am. And then 2014 is when I found out I'm asexual. And so, you know, like, since being asexual, I realized I got an Indian soulmate somewhere. I know this intuitively. I just feel it. Maybe I knew this guy in a past life. I've always been trying to search for him in this life, and it kind of causes me a lot of heartache and pain sometimes, but also it's got me out of my comfort zone because I've used different dating apps. I've allowed myself to kiss in a club without being in a relationship because I thought I was going to be single for ages. I've actually gone on in-person dates now I went on one in-person date with an Indian guy. He's 21 years old, and we kissed, and it was amazing. It was bliss. But after that, he just wanted to hook up the kissing and didn't care about me as a person. So I'm like, I'm not having that. So that was the end of that. Although he did try to come back and again try and meet up for kissing. And I thought maybe he genuinely liked me, but clearly he didn't. He was just interested in the kissing. Because he's like, oh, nothing else is my business what you do. I just, basically just want to kiss. I'm like, no. And then I did have a date/friendship meet up with a guy in my city. He didn't make it clear whether it's a date or friendship, but I said, what is it? And he's like, whatever you want it to be. It can be both. And I'm like, that is just so ridiculous. But anyway, because I didn't kiss him, he was then going home going, oh, I think we should meet up for kissing and stuff. I'm like, I guess, why didn't you kiss me if you're attracted to him? I'm like, because you told me you're not attracted to me sexually, because I know he was, but he kept saying, I'm not, I promise. I said, oh, so you're not attracted to me at all then? And he's like, no. So, have a nice time for sleeping. And then, yeah, I'm just saying goodbye to someone because he's got to go to work and get up. So yeah, go to sleep to get up early for work. Sorry. But yeah, so, this is kind of crazy. It's just really weird what happens in the dating world these days. It's like living in two completely separate worlds, like the heterosexual world and the asexual world. And I really wished I could find a suitable asexual guy for me, but I just been on asexual dating sites for absolutely ages, and I just have this feeling that I have been with an Indian guy before in a past life, that I'm meant to find him in this life. But other times I just think I'd be better giving up that idea, even if it's just temporary. But I get so upset every time I think about leaving that potential guy that I haven't found yet. I get really upset. I can't leave him. He's my soulmate. What the hell are you doing? You need to search for him. But I was saying there are benefits of dating, even though it's hard sometimes. And the benefits, for me are that I can meet different types of people. I get way out of my comfort zone. I've done things I wouldn't usually do. I have dated, like I said, 2 Indian guys in my city so far. One I kissed, the other one I didn't, because he's like, oh, I'm not attracted. See you next time. Well, I'm not, I wasn't attracted. I just wasn't. He told me he wasn't attracted to me, so I told him I'm not gonna actually kiss someone who said they're not attracted to me, or they don't know if they're attracted to me, because it's gonna make them uncomfortable. And he's like, oh well, I'm thinking about it now. It's like, well, you had, that's it. And he was smoking anyway. I'm not interested. And then he ghosted me. And so the best thing you can do if someone ghosts you, right? Listen to this advice now. It's really good advice. Is to actually send them a message to end the situation, unless they've blocked you already. If they haven't blocked you at all, you can still message them. Just send them one message to end it, even if they've ghosted you, because ghosting someone makes the recipient feel like, oh my God, what's happened? Are they ever going to contact me again? When are they going to speak to me again? Are they going to turn up in my life a week later, a year later, a month later, or whatever? But if you send them a message that finalizes it and say, look, this is what I did with the guy in my city. Basically, I said, I haven't heard from you. You said you're going to get back to me. I haven't heard from you. I'm assuming that you're not interested anymore. Therefore, you're not suitable for me. Definitely not going to be suitable for a relationship or even friendship, because I need reliable people who genuinely care about me, respect my time, that type of thing. And so I wish you good luck and in your life, much success and happiness finding the person you want. But that's it, basically. We're not suitable for friendship or relationship, and I wish you well. And I even put in this guy in extra, I put, unlike you, I don't like ghosting people, so I want to give you this final goodbye message, and this is what I'm saying, and to say we're not suitable. So the reason it's really good, it's very empowering. It takes your personal power back, and it stops them being able to contact you 1, 2, 3 weeks, 3 months, 5 years down the line. If you've ended it with them, then you've put a stop to it and say, you're just not suitable for me. And that is much, much better. I mean, with the guy tonight who just let me down on, because he said he'd call me back in 5 minutes and never bothered, in the end, I just sent him 2 messages to say that, we're not suitable. We're not even suitable for friends because you can't respect my time. You clearly don't care about me. And so therefore, it's no go for friendship or relationship. So goodbye and good luck, because you can't waste your time with these people anymore. If someone lets you down, they're only going to keep letting you down. Whatever happens at the beginning of a dating scenario is what's going to continue to happen. Never ever do what I did years ago and think things are going to get better, and be waiting around for someone. If someone genuinely likes you, cares about you, and wants you in their life, they will make time for you. If they're running late, they will say, look, I'm running late at the moment. I'm going to be with you as soon as possible. If they say they're going to phone you back in 5 minutes, they'll phone you back in 5 minutes. If they say, like, I'm really sorry, this has happened, can we arrange another time? They'll then follow up and arrange another time. People that are not interested will just not get back to you. They won't respect your time. They won't value your worth. They'll keep you hanging on. They'll only message you when they damn well feel like it. They won't be consistent in their messaging. They won't be consistent in their communication. They might try and invalidate your asexuality as well. So you got to be really careful of this, because they can have like be like a double-edged sword. One minute they can be acting like they respect your asexuality and just allowing you to talk about your asexuality. The next minute they can be saying, oh, well, I respect your choice, like it's some sort of choice. I respect your lifestyle. It's like it's a lifestyle choice. So really, they don't actually accept it. They've just been listening to what you say, or not, as a case of it being, just not responding. And then all of a sudden you find out they're not even respecting you. They're not even supporting you. They were just like ignoring what you were saying basically all along. And so, like, it can get very frustrating, and it can get like you're bashing your head against a brick wall because you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. Asexuality is not a lifestyle choice. I'm not interested in any types of sex. I'm not interested in a blowjob. No, I don't want to be sucked. No, I don't people like sucking my breast. No, I don't like being touched there. No, so what will you do? It's like, well, it's like they expect you to do something in place of not having sex, which is usually having sex in a different way. What goes on with that? It's like, I've told you, I do not like sex. I do not like sex. I do not like sex. What do I have to do? Play a record and just leave it? Because it's like, yeah, I can be doing something else for the next 5 hours while you still get in your brain, I don't want sex. I don't want sex. I don't want sex. You know what I mean? It's just like crazy. I'm thinking, why am I even wasting my breath? And so a lot of the time you just end up not wasting your breath anymore and just deciding to leave their life. But you have to understand there, like, there are good things about dating, bad things. And like, one of the things I was saying, does get you out of your comfort zone. Like, I've done things, because I specifically look for an indie guy as well, I've done things that I wouldn't usually do, like actually having in-person dates with guys off Facebook dating, for example, and actually having dates with younger guys because I'm into younger guys, and pushing myself to like have more video dates and more conversations with guys, and and going to places that maybe I wouldn't go to because an Indian guy might be there, or and having more confidence and self-esteem hired because I'm talking to these people and making the first moves, and I have a lot of Indian guys liking me and hearting me and paying me lots of lovely compliments a lot of the time as well. So it does, I'm very confident anyway, but it does help increase your confidence, self-esteem. It's bound to if you've got people constantly telling you look good looking and want to kiss you. Well, some people might not like that, but I don't like being told that I'm kissable and people want to kiss me. And also, it creates an abundance mindset. So if you're in a mindset like, oh, no one's going to want me, it's not good because you're going to accept rubbish from people. But if like I have loads of Indian guys that are constantly on my Facebook, like liking my profile pics, liking my pictures, liking who I am, talking about the way I look, being pretty, and sending me hearts and stuff. Like, I know I've got loads of Indian guys after me. I don't need to settle for one who can't even be bothered to like make time for me and respect my time. I like guys to plan in advance when they're going to video date me. Like, oh, can we, when are you free? When am I free? Like, let's make it a date. And then they've got the next one lined up, and then the next one. And they're always in advance, usually. I'm not really a spontaneous person when it comes to that, because I've got so much work to do that I need to have it in time, specific time for that person, like for a few hours, especially the ones in video games. Oh, I don't video game. I haven't done video gaming. Like, I don't do video games. I don't play them. But there's quite a lot of people that do like video games, but on asexuals particularly. But with dating heterosexuals, there's so many of them like travel. I'm not even into travel. Some of them just want a travel buddy as well. It's like, I'm really not into traveling. I know that sounds weird because most people are. It's like, I just want to like have, like my ideal scenario would be that I have a guy in a serious committed relationship with me who lives near me in the same city as me, but not with me, who would move to live near me here. He would have his own friends. I'd have my friends. I would do my own thing. He would do his own thing, but we would see each other like probably twice a week, maybe 3 times occasionally, but usually probably mostly twice a week in person. And then we would video chat, date, and keep messaging and stuff in between. But I need to get my work done, it's very important. Like the channel, like I keep doing videos for you to help you. You might have noticed there's a lot of entertainment videos as well on this channel now because they seem really popular. People want light-hearted stuff at the moment as well, especially with what all going on in the world. So now I'm trying to do education, information, and entertainment a lot more on this channel. I'm trying to do like a variation so people can like understand asexual life, because I do love my asexual life, and it's important to like see kind of like asexual entertainment for a change, isn't it, than on channels seeing sexual stuff all the time. So yeah, you might have noticed there's a video before this one, a shorts video about an asexual like attitude, or like the asexual way to prepare for a video date. And it's like with food, a plate of food, because like basically I get on with my day. I didn't used to be like this, but I do now. Like I still prepare for the date. I still like have a shower and everything, get my hair done. But a lot of the time, by the time I've got around to seeing them, I'm like cooked my food and I've got a meal prepared, and I'm thinking, oh, if they don't show up, at least I've got food to eat, because asexuals tend to love their food. I do. And so for me, it's like preparing for a date is like eating food, so that if the guy doesn't show up, I can still have a nice meal and feel good. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, well, you missed out on a great girl. And plus, I get to eat a load of brilliant food and just enjoy it, and then get on with my day. But yeah, that's quite funny, I think. You got to get your priorities right, haven't you? Yeah, food. And so, I didn't used to be like that. But nowadays, I think, right, if this guy's interested in a relationship with me, like he says he is or implies he is, then he's got to get used to seeing me eat. And a lot of heterosexuals, they won't eat, they're so worried about their looks all the time when they're dating, and they're so worried about their makeup, which I don't usually wear makeup, as you see most of the time. And they're so worried about the way they look and the outfit, if their boobs are showing probably, and their makeup and all this. I don't worry about anything like that. And a lot of the time they would never eat in front of someone, because that's like quite a personal thing. They might eat on a first date, but I think on a video date probably they wouldn't. And some people don't even like eating on a first date, because it's kind of like you're watching someone's mouth. But in any case, with video dating, like nowadays, I just like, if I haven't ate, I just cut my food because I get low blood sugar. And I think if a person cannot watch me eat, or be comfortable with me eating, or chat to me while I'm actually eating, so he's actually able to use some words and have intelligent conversation and hold a conversation himself, then that can that can say a lot about the guy. Because if I'm trying to do all the work talking while I'm still eating and he can see it, that means like I'm just going to be putting all the time, energy, and effort in mostly. And of course, I want to talk to him. I still do try to talk to him. Well, I usually do most of the talking while I'm trying to eat, which isn't great. But like really, I need the type of guy that'll be like, oh, you're eating at the moment, so like either do you want me? It might be nice if they might say, oh, do you want me to call you back? But then if they don't call you back, that's really bad. But they might just say, all right, you're eating, you carry on eating, and then I'll talk to you. Like, what would you like to know about me? And then, or just say stuff about themselves. Like often I'll say to them, like, oh, tell me about yourself then. And while I'm eating, they could have like, tell me all about themselves and use their imagination initiative and say, oh, well, my parents are in this country and I have brothers and sisters and I do this job and I had my education, I left there. And they could tell me part of their life story while I'm eating. But a lot of the time instead, they expect me to do the talking while I'm eating. And it's like, well, what I mean, use your initiative, what things can you, like, can you actually bring to the table, And I think if like sometimes I'll like bring snacks along, like let's have some food together on a first date anyway. Because like I said, some people do go to cafes and restaurants on a first date. So there's no reason why you can't actually eat in front of them on a first date or any video date. And I think if you can be relaxed enough to eat in front of someone, it actually says, wow, that, I'm relaxed in front of you. But you know, if they're not going to bother talking and you're going to do all the talking while you're trying to eat, it's not so good. I know some people are introverted though, and some people find it difficult to talk in dates. So I do understand that, because some of my friends are actually like that. You know, like if I have online meetups, for example, some of my friends find it hard to keep a conversation going or talking. So if I'm eating my food with them, I often keep the conversation going as well. So I am used to it. Um, you know, but I just think on a date, you know, they could be using their initiative a bit more, because it's new. It's not like I've known anything about them. They could just talk and say stuff to me, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's very interesting. But there are good things, like I said, it can make you a lot more confident and raise your self-esteem in some ways, because you can like get used to, like, I'm used to rejection now, but a lot of the time it can lower your self-esteem and confidence if you keep getting constantly rejected. But I don't care about rejection. I'd rather they reject me than waste my time. I'd rather they say, no, you're not for me, and I'll be like, okay, let's move on, rather than them just like hanging on and just messaging me intermittently, pretending they're asexual or implying they might be, and trying to leave it up to me to decide whether they are or not, when really they damn well know they're not, and that type of thing, you know. But I have got sick of dating at the moment, because I'm just like, it's so time consuming, so much energy, so much effort on my part for very little that I'm getting back from it. And when it happens like that, you just think it's better to leave it for a while, because if you're the one doing the majority of the work, it's not worth it. It's just like not worth it. And the other side is that if you get too emotionally attached to someone, so say you've got the opposite and there's someone who is communicating with you a lot and talking, that might be really nice. But if you have that and you get emotionally attached to them, but the person wants different things from you, in a few years' time, they want marriage, you don't want it, they want kids, you don't want it, or they live in another country, not even in this country, then, you know, you can end up being emotionally connected to someone and highly disappointed down the line. And so you might have someone that's connecting with you a lot, but in reality, they can't be with you because you're not actually compatible and suitable. And so therefore, you're actually having a great time in the sense, oh, this person's really good. They're communicating, connecting with me a lot. They're much better than a lot of the other people I've met. But actually, could they be in a relationship? Or is this just a connection that you, one or two of you both want to have for some sort of need or reason, but actually long term, it's not going to do you any good. So you have to really think about that as well. But I just get sick of like being let down. Like, you know, like if a guy's gonna like arrange a date, then either he should show up or he should just tell me, look, I've changed my mind, I'm not interested anymore, thank you for your time. Think we're, you know, there are some guys who've had the decency to tell me that, you know, we're just on different life paths, but a lot of the time it's prompting from me that does that. It's rather than them coming to me and saying, hey, I've been thinking about a potential relationship with you and I find it sad, but, you know, I've decided that we're both on different life paths and we need to go our separate ways. There is one guy that did that, but the majority of guys, you know, don't do that. They wait for me to talk to them or me to decide that they're not right for me, you know. And it's kind of like, if you know you're not right for me, just damn well say it and move on. Stop wasting my frigging time, you know. And I hate it when I'm waiting to date someone and they're late or they can't be bothered, because it's like, I've got work to do of my own. My time is very precious. You can't get your time back. So if you give someone your time, you're giving them the most valuable asset you can give them. And it's actually a gift you're giving them, your time, right? Just like if they're giving you time. But if you've got someone who you're trying to commit time to, but they're not really interested, or they're not being on time for you, they're just being lazy about, or haphazard, or don't really care, or they can't even, you know, they're just not showing up. It's just horrible. I don't know how they can be so rude. You know, I don't think they'd like it if they were like, oh, you know, like they'd done, you know, say they'd finished work, they rushed home to see someone, they didn't turn up. It's like, luckily I didn't go out for a self date like I usually do, because I've seen the movie. But I had a date planned with this guy for, say, after I had gone to the movie, but I'd already seen it, so I didn't in the end. And this guy blocked me on Messenger, but not on Facebook. I'm like, what the hell? What's the point in blocking me on Messenger, but not on Facebook? And so instead of having a date with me, he just made himself unavailable. All he had to do was say to me, look, I've had a change of heart. We're not suitable. So let's agree to part ways. But he didn't even do that. And so had I gone for that self-date, I would have rushed home when I could have stayed in the city centre more. Maybe that's a lesson, that I should not plan anything after a self-date anyway, with a date, you know, only with friends I know who are reliable, not with someone from a dating app. But you know what I mean? I'm trying to like fit people into my time as a gift to them, if you like, you know, because I do get really busy. I do have stuff to do, but I do have a great big sense of romance. And when you are trying to find some relationship, you do have to dedicate some time. You know, it is a time consuming thing. You're going to have to put time, energy, and effort into it if you're going to do it. But at the moment, I've just got so sick of doing it. That guy had a lack of communication. Lack of communication. Yeah, but he was talking to me. The guy who blocked me on Facebook Messenger, he'd been having, apart from Saturday, the night before we were supposed to be video dating, he'd been messaging me. And he said he was asexual, but I don't think he is. I think he just lied. He actually said to me, I'm straight and I'm asexual. How does that work? Because they're opposite. And he's like, oh, I like kissing, but I don't like sex. I'm like, oh, okay. But he wanted to do stuff, some sexual stuff that I didn't want to do. And he's bearded and I didn't like that. So I told him, you know, we basically agreed we wouldn't be suitable for a relationship. But he said he still want to be my friend. But to me, it is good, really, that he blocked me because he's done me a favour, because he was ambiguous, because he's like, we're not suitable for a relationship, but I want to kiss you. And can we just kiss once as friends? You know what I mean? So, you know, but he knows how to communicate, because he was communicating with me in the beginning. And so does the guy tonight who said he'd get back to me in 5 minutes, and he didn't. He just left it and then clearly wasn't interested in me, so I ended it. And he'd been having in-depth conversations. Like like last night, he'd been, hi from Italy, Aero Ace Boy here. Oh, hello. It's nice to see you. So yeah, so he'd been having in-depth conversation. Like, he was like having a conversation with me for over an hour via text. The one that like video chat with me 5 minutes today, like, I'll phone you back in 5 minutes, and didn't bother. And then when I messaged him, he's like, I'm in the shower now, then I'm going to eat. And it's like, clearly you can't give a shite. And I told him, I said, like, clearly, you know, like, obviously you don't care. And so I just said, you know, I can't have you as a friend or be in a relationship with you, and block a goodbye then, and blocked him. And then he already removed himself from Facebook dating before I even had a chance to. So clearly he wasn't interested in me, and I'm right in the end. So what I think is, you know, like, a lot of the time when you get intuition, it's usually right, you know. So in the past, years ago, because I had self-doubt, I would second guess myself. So I'd be like, oh, and I'd make up excuses for the guy. Oh, well, he's 5 minutes late. Maybe something bad's happened to him. Maybe he's been in a car accident, or maybe this, or maybe that. And I would just be like, do you know what I mean? I'd accept rubbish. But these guys, they're just really not that interested, and they'll use you. So when they are alone or feeling like they haven't got anyone to validate them, and they're actually lonely, they will then talk to you if they've got no friends around. But if they've got friends around and they don't need you anymore because they're not really interested in you, then they'll mess you around. So it's better with all these people not to give them second chances, because a lot of the time you can think in your life, oh, I'll give them a second chance, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and it usually always ends up in misery, heartache and pain, because if they are going to have that behaviour in the beginning, they're only going to carry on and get worse. They're not going to get better. If someone cannot turn up to a date with you on time, obviously there are exceptions, you know, there are genuine exceptions, but it doesn't happen very often. A person who can't be bothered to turn up to a date on time, and they're like 5-10 minutes late, can't be asked with you, to be honest. They just can't be bothered with you because they're not that interested in you. Someone who's really interested in you will be like on time or before time, waiting to actually have like the video date with you or meet up with you in person. They'll make sure that they do everything they can to make you happy, and to, you know, and to be on good terms with you, because they'll be genuinely interested in you. They won't want to hurt your feelings. You know, they won't want to like say stuff that's not true, and they won't want to let you down, and they'll want to see you. They'll be eager to see you. You know, someone that isn't that interested in you, if they like turn up to the date late, they're not really bothered about it. They don't say, sorry, I'm late. They don't text you, I'm going to be late. They don't text you, I'm sorry. They just act as though nothing's happened. You know, usually on video dates, I give a guy 10 minutes to actually speak to me from the time that he said. 10 minutes. And if I don't hear from him within 10 minutes, I usually block him because he's usually just not interested. And 10 minutes is too generous, really. But obviously, I'll give 10 minutes just in case something unforeseen's happened. But, you know, like, I've seen these guys on Facebook dating. They have plenty of opportunity to say, I'm sorry, you know, something cropped up. I can't do it at that time. But they don't. They just, like, leave you waiting and hanging to meet at the time that they've said. And then they just don't show up, or they show up late, or they show up with a half-hearted attitude because they're not really interested. And I think what it is they just want validation, and they want you for conversation when they want you because they're bored or they're lonely or they want someone to find them attractive. And it's just that it's really bad. It's not on, but it happens, you know. And so I wish for every asexual person to find someone who loves them wholeheartedly, who wants to spend time with them, who thinks they're amazing like they are, who sees value in them, who sees their worth, who genuinely respects their time, and who, if ever they're late, which is hardly ever, that they will message you beforehand and they will rearrange times to see you, and they will always make sure they're valuing your time to give you as much notice as possible. Like, oh God, I've got to work tonight. Didn't realise my boss has called us in because several people are off sick. I want to tell you as soon as possible because I know you can be doing other stuff with your life. You know, that type of attitude is really good. You know, when people respect your time and think, God, I don't want to keep them hanging on waiting. I want to tell them as soon as possible so they can be getting on with their own life. You know, that's the type of person you want if they're going to do that, which shouldn't be very often, you know. And you want someone who's like really into talking to you and who really wants to spend time with you, quality time with you, and someone who wants to keep in communication contact, and you don't have to second guess whether they really want to be in contact with you or not. If you're feeling like you're second guessing or you're afraid they're going to leave you, a lot of the time it's not a good connection, because you shouldn't ever be feeling afraid that someone might leave you at any given moment. If they're genuinely into you, you shouldn't get an eerie feeling. Like, I get some feelings about someone which I wish I didn't have sometimes, but I'm like, you're getting this feeling sound, it's for a reason, because there is something dodgy going on. There is something that's not right. And I urge you to trust yourself and trust your own judgment, and don't second guess yourself. If you feel this person's not right, you're not going to trust them anyway. And so it's going to be pointless continuing on, you know, when you don't trust them. And so, you know, like if this trust issue continues, or even before it starts, and you just know something's wrong, you just don't bother going there, you know, and you'll have to leave their life. Maybe it's just like not the right time. Maybe they will come back in your life later. Maybe they're just not good people and you've already worked that out. Or maybe you just can't pinpoint something because you're too emotionally invested in them, too romantically inclined towards them. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I think it's good with dating to take breaks as and when you feel like it. Because you got to do what feels right for you. Maybe one day it feels good to you to have a break, maybe the next day it doesn't feel so good. But, you know, it's good to be able to assess your own feelings, assess why you're feeling the way you are, and to learn from these experiences. And don't put up with rubbish. Don't put up with being second best. Don't put up with being a second priority. Don't wait around for someone who clearly doesn't care about you. Make sure that you value your worth enough to walk away as quickly as possible from the wrong people, because you cannot be with the right person if you've got the wrong people in your life, because they will suck the life out of you, drain your energy, make you really upset, and they couldn't care less about you anyway, so they're not worth it. I hope you found this video useful, helpful, and insightful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up if you haven't given it a thumbs up already. I really have loved the conversation tonight. I've loved all the chat messages from everyone. I want to say thank you to everyone who's taken part tonight. Sad Mood, I think that was your name. And Miniature Mist, is that how you pronounce your name? Lots of love to you. Shy Cat, lots of love. Good to see you. Good to see all these lovely people. Really good. And then there was another person, Alexandra Farsi. Error Ace Boy, lots of love from you. From you. Have I pronounced your name right? Miniature Mist. I love that name. Lots of love to you. Anyway, I'm going to go now, and thanks for the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to get notified of every time I go live. Like now, I'll post a new video. I love to talk to you live. It's amazing to connect with all you beautiful asexual people. And I'll see you soon next video live stream. Lots of love. Bye. Oh, and Asexual Perspectives is on Amazon. I know some of you want to know where to get that from. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Waterstones, or Blackwell's websites. Some of you asking about it. Anyway, lots of love. Bye. Take care.